troublemaker.
You should already know when I walk in the door that it ain't no use in frontin' on me. I'm a hustle, I'ma do my thing. You already know what it's gon' be. I keep hustling, I keep hustling, I keep hustling, I keep hustling. And if you feel me, put your hands up and come and sing the hustler's anthem with me.
Hey, my trouble takers. This is the first of what I hope to be a series that will be informative and entertaining to help people become better Assassin's Creed multiplayer players. Since Deathmatch is my primary mode these days, most of the videos we focused on that. However, the tips and tricks found within the series will apply to most other game modes, especially in these first few videos where we're going to be going over really basic stuff. Okay, onward! So for this first video, we're going to be talking about maximizing your points. So obviously, if you want to win the match, you're going to have to be the player with the highest points. And as a new player, you've probably seen the end of the match and looked at your score. You came in 8th with 13 kills and 2,000 points, yet the person who came in first has like 6, 7, 8 kills and almost 10,000 points. And you're thinking to yourself, how the hell did they do that? Well, they do that through keeping to a few simple rules, paying attention to point multipliers, paying attention to variety, going for point bonuses, and crafting their abilities certain ways. All of these things are very easy, very basic, and I'm going to show you how. Rule number 1.
Don't run.
But Trouble, why walk? Why not run? Well, there's a few things that happen when you run. 1, you go into high profile. So when you go into high profile, you get that little arrow above your head that's either blue or red. Just like you can see either your pursuer or your target running, your target and pursuer can see you running. It makes it very easy to lock. It gives you away. Not only that, it reduces your approach meter. So this is quite possibly the most important thing to keep in mind, and ultimately what separates experienced players from noobs. So when you're assigned a target, you get the target portrait. And when you get them in line of sight, meaning you can see them, there's no obstacles, it lights up with color. The longer you stay in line of sight, the more that approach meter goes up. So those numbers on the approach meter are directly correlated to how many points you get for the kill if you killed them at that moment in time. Now walking makes the approach meter go up, or rather it doesn't affect the approach meter. You're doing what it's supposed to while you have them in line of sight. However, look what happens when you go into high profile. It goes down, so you're literally giving points away. These games are really built to reward stealth, so you want to try to be as stealthy as possible. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to know that you're after them, but at least you can get the points for the kill. The maximum amount of points you can get for the kill is 450. So obviously you want to try to fill that approach meter up because there are also kill multipliers, which we're going to talk about next. Kill multipliers are precisely that. They're going to take your kill score and multiply it by a said amount. So there are a few different multipliers and they are all worth different things. There are hidden kills, grab kills, acrobatic kills, and bench kills. Hidden kills by far are the easiest to get, and really you should be trying to get a hidden kill on every single kill you get. Hidden kills double your kill score. So all of a sudden that kill I got for 450 isn't 450, it's 900. That's some serious points for a shank in the back. Assassin's Creed 4 makes it way easier to get hidden kills as well because you can blend with a single civilian, where in AC3 and previous versions you had to have a group of civilians to blend with. So you know you'll get the multiplier when you watch, and there's a little icon. See that guy? ×2. That tells you that you've been there long enough to actually get the multiplier. But be careful, it doesn't stay there forever, so when you leave that blend group you only have a few seconds to still get that multiplier. When it's gone, so are your double points. Acrobatic kills give you 1.5 times whatever your approach meter is. Grab kills give you 3 times your approach meter. And bench kills also give you 3 times your approach meter. Aerial kills don't have a kill multiplier, but it does count to variety, which we'll talk about later. Another easy way to rack up the points is by getting focus bonuses. A focus bonus rewards you for being next to your target without getting stunned for a certain period of time. When you get within kill range, you'll get an X prompt, as you see here. And there's basically a timer, that little white line that goes all the way around it. So if you let it fill up, you get an extra 150 points. In AC4, you now get half a focus. So if you don't quite get all the way, see, stop. 50 points right there for half of a focus. You really want to try to let it go all the way though, because 150 points is quite a bit, especially when it, when you add it on kill after kill after kill. But see, this kill right here, the approach meter being up, hidden, focus, poison, this is a massive kill. So take your time, get those bonuses, get those extra points, and get those massive kills, 1,400 points. See, it pays not to run. If I had ran at this guy, I would have gotten 100 points. I'll take the 1,400, thank you very much. Likewise, ranged weapons don't give you a whole lot of points, so it's really best to get up close and personal. Pistol only gives you 100 points, regardless of if you're in a hidden group or your approach meter. Poison dart gives you 300. So use those guys sparingly, but we're kind of getting more into strategy talk, which will come in a later video.
Come on, let's talk about
Variety. So let's talk variety. Variety is a point rewardal system for making a variety of different kills. The system has changed drastically since AC3. In AC3 you had variety, greater variety, extreme variety, and you had different points awarded for each, but you could only get each once. In AC4, the things that you can do that count toward variety are less. However, it's unlimited how many varieties you can get. So the variety bonus is 400 points, and you can get it over and over and over and over again in a game. The things that count toward variety are aerial, acrobatic, hidden, bench, focus, and chain. And the chain bonus is awarded for killing your target and then stunning a pursuer, or vice versa, as long as you do them in succession. The system will also let you know that you've got the chain bonus by giving you a little chain icon that pops up right there. Likewise, you will notice when you make one of these kills that you'll get a little notice that you've had something counted toward your variety, and it'll actually give you a countdown of how many you have. Once you complete that variety, it'll tell you variety completed, and then it'll start the count over again.
Variety completed.
Being aware of where your variety is good to know, because it helps you make a decision on what type of kill to make. So if you're close to your variety and you know you're going to get 400 points if you make, an acrobatic kill, you don't get as much for acrobatic as you would for, the hidden kill. However, you're going to get that variety. So just kind of spur the moment, just understanding how the point system works and deciding which kills to make at which time. Now we're going to talk about the other thing that separates noobs from experienced players, and that's perks and abilities. So I'm going to predicate this by saying that these things are often subjective depending on the player and what they like to do. I'm going to tell you what I think is best and what I use, and tell you the reasons why. Now, all these perks are useful, but seeing as you only get 2 to use for each game, you really kind of have to pick and choose which ones are going to be most beneficial for that game mode. Now, I've already planned to go over lost streaks and bonuses and perks in detail in future episodes. So for the purpose of this episode, I'm going to explain the 2 perks that maximize your points. Those being Kill Buffer and Determined. So what Determined does is stops your points from being cut in half when you get a contested kill. So you got a kill, it's for 450 points because you had an incognito or perfect approach, whatever they're calling it in the version of game you're playing, and you went up and you killed somebody, but they knew that it was you and they tried to stun you. Well, the stun didn't work, you still killed them, so that's a contested kill, but by them understanding that it was you, they tried to stun you, they would normally cut your points in half, so you would then only get 225 for that kill. Well, what Determined does is make sure that you get the full 450 points for that kill. It was introduced in AC4, and I use it, almost everybody I know uses it, because it's kind of necessary, especially in your competitive lobbies. It's, people are good at figuring out who their pursuer is, and it's another good way of withholding points from your competitors, which we'll be going into in a future episode. Kill Buffer reduces your kill streak by 1 instead of resetting it completely when you die. So you choose your kill streak bonuses, which we'll talk about in a second, and say you chose hack. Well, you have hack, you now need 13 or 14 kills to get to hack. Well, if you get to 12 kills and you die, if you don't have kill buffer, you get reset back to 1. If you have kill buffer, you get reset back to 11. So it's a really handy thing to have, and especially when I played AC3, the two things that I ran with were kill buffer and overall cooldowns, because they've now introduced this point slicing system. In AC4, I run with Determined just to make sure that I always get the full points for all of my kills, so I don't use overall cooldowns anymore, but kill buffer is still one of those things that's necessary. Moving on to abilities, the two abilities you were able to craft to maximize points are Decoy and Poison. So for each ability you have when you craft, you have 3 available things that you can craft. They vary with each ability, but all of them have a cooldown, most of them have a duration, and there's usually one extra one. For Decoy, you have duration, score, bonus, and cooldown. When you craft, you have 2 items you can add to, and those will be the blue ones. If you craft enough over and over and over again, eventually it's going to give you an extra point to put on something that you didn't do, but you don't get to choose where that goes, it's just randomly selected. If you craft enough, it'll put it somewhere, and if you don't like where it puts it, you can spend more points and craft over and over and over again until you get it to put where you want. It's up to you. Poison allows you to change it from 250, or 300 points. I personally put mine at 300 because I choose when to poison my targets, so my poison doesn't get taken a whole lot. If you're finding that your poison is getting taken a lot and you'd like to use poison, it's probably best to put all of your choices on delay to make sure that you actually get that poison kill. But really, if this is happening, you need to get better at making sure that you're paying attention to how many pursuers are on your target. If there's 3 people on your target, chances are if you poison them, it's going to get taken. If you're the only person on there, then feel free to poison because nobody can take it. The last thing we're going to talk about is lost bonuses and kill streaks. So for lost bonuses, the 2 things that can maximize your points are ×2 and Scavenger. Now, depending on where you're at in your skill level, which one you choose is completely up to you. Scavenger will give you 200 points for each ground finish you complete until you actually get a kill or a stun. ×2 will give you double the overall score of the next kill or stun you make. The good thing with ×2 is that you have the potential to make that double point whatever or however large you want. If you have a 200 point stun, you get 400 points. But if you have a 1400 point kill, you then get 2800 points. So ×2 comes with a plus and minus. Most experienced players I know use ×2. However, you don't want to waste your ×2 because if you've got 5 lost contracts, and you have a ×2, and you're 5th in the leaderboard, and you need 2,000 points to get yourself to number 1, chances are you want to make a really good kill and save that, so you'll oftentimes allow yourself to be killed, just so you don't waste your ×2 on a stun for 400 points. This can get hairy sometimes, because if you just can't get that kill, sometimes you just need to go ahead and waste it to get the kill just to progress the game. So it's really all just determining what's good at the moment, and that takes practice. If you're a new player and you're finding that you're losing a lot of contracts, the Scavenger loss bonus might be best for you because you get 200 points for each kill you don't make instead of 50 for the ground finish. So depending on where you are on your skill level and how you feel that the games are progressing, it's your choice to make, but those are the 2 that will give you the most amount of points for your loss bonuses. For kill streaks, there are 3 things that will give you extra points. One being the plus 250, the second one being plus 550, the third being Animus Hack. So plus 250, for each 8 kills you get an extra 250 points. 550, it takes 11 kills, and for the Animus Hack, it takes 13. So choosing which one of these to use is often just a matter of numbers. If you are able to get to that 13 kill point, then Animus Hack might be a good thing. However, each hack you get is only worth 1 or 150 points. I can't remember which one it's worth, but it's not worth much. I mean, the Animus Hack might sound good on paper, but you have to ask yourself, how many kills are you really going to be able to get in that 30 seconds that you have Animus Hack? If there's 8 players in a lobby, and you kill each player once, if you're lucky. See, I've rarely seen anybody using Animus Hack getting more than 600 points from the Animus Hack. And at that point, you're just better using the 550 because it takes less kills to get there and it's almost the same amount of points. You're more likely to get it more than once. So really you have to balance the two and just think about how many kills are you actually going to be able to make with the Anim attack versus how many points can you get if you have the plus 550. There are other perks that might be worth more to you, like Revelation, however. So Revelation, when I have that, I can often get 4 or 5 stuns before I get killed. And because I can spot my pursuer, and each stun is worth 200 points. So that's, 800 points that I got there that I might not have got otherwise. So it really just depends on the way that you play and how many kills you make, how often you're making kills, and what your kill points are worth. And that's just up to you. But those are the 3 kill streak bonuses that are going to give you extra points. Okay, well that wraps it up for this first episode of how to play EC4 multiplayer like a boss. And I hope that it was helpful and entertaining. And I've got 10 to 13 more of these things planned. I've kind of got them already planned out, but if there's something you guys want to go over specifically, just hit me up in the comments and I'm happy to include anything that you guys want to talk about or you're interested in knowing more about. Give a like if it helped, please, or a subscription. Thank you so much to everybody who's already subscribed. You guys are awesome. And I can't really think of anything else to say, and I tend to ramble, so I'm just going to say Troublemaker out, and I'll catch you on Xbox Live.